Aw, no gimmicks.
Alright, we're back. We're back with Beat the System featuring Dungeon of the Endless. Now, Dungeon of the Endless just came out, like, the actual full release. Before it's been in alpha and beta and whatever, and a lot of the guides that you look up are going to be, for the alpha stage of the game, which came out last year, like in December, and had 3 floors and about 6 heroes, and it didn't even play the same. I've been playing it since then, and it's almost a completely different game now. So, just letting you know, if you're looking up for a lot of information about the game, there's not a lot. So let's kick it off, right? Okay. First thing that I always say in all my Beat System videos is it's a roguelike game, so I can't, it's not a walkthrough. The game's random, how you play is going to be different, what you see is going to be different and things, so this is, just a guide, tips. It's going to be a little more in-depth than most of my guides because there's a lot of game systems that aren't really explained or, easily apparent. So we're going to have to go over that too. So, it's roguelike, you're going to die, right? That's always number one. It's a roguelike, you're going to die. It's not a big deal. Hopefully you learn something on each death, whatever. Don't get frustrated. It's worth the effort to play, you know what I mean? Alright, so you're going to have to go through all the systems first, and then we'll go through a couple strategies on what you're actually doing. So, first system, how the hell do you even win the game, right? You kind of get in there, there's this kind of little tutorial that you can activate, and when you're in game, you go into the menu screen, that'll teach you, like, open the door, put down a module or something, and that doesn't really teach you how to win. So, at a basic level, you want to pick up your yellow power supply thing and bring it to the exit. That's it. Every single floor, that's going to be your end goal, is to get that to the exit. Now, let's go over the systems, right? First thing that you notice, you start up the game and you got the ship selection. Ship selection is just kind of changes the rules. So the standard ship, standard rules. The healing, the infirmary ship, different rules. The armory ship, different rules. And then there's like a hard mode ship. There's an endless game ship where it's just like a survival. You just keep going up and it never ends. And all that stuff is explained. Nothing's really hidden in there. So that's real simple. Next thing you see is hero selection. Now there's, I think, 4 heroes to start. I don't know because they said they were going to reset progress, but I kept all my heroes when it went to release, so I don't know which 4 heroes are to start with. I'm going to guess that it's the first 4, so then you've got Max, Sarah, the nurse, and Gork. What's the difference? Why do they have stats? Damage is obviously damage. Health. Not everyone who has high health has very high defense, and you can't see defense in this screen. So although no matter what, you pick somebody with health, they're gonna be tankier. But I don't know why you can't see the defense stat at the character select screen. It's kind of weird. And then there's speed and there's wit. Why do you want someone fast? Because you have to carry that crystal at the end of each stage and bring it to the exit. And speed affects that speed that you walk with that crystal also. There's no set speed for when you... It's not like, I picked up the crystal, so I move this speed. No, it just reduces your speed by a certain amount. So the fastest character you have, that's the person you want carrying that. So I'd suggest not picking Gork in the beginning because he is the slowest character in the game. And trying something maybe with Max and Sarah, because Sarah has the fastest speed in the game. And she'll be good with the crystal. Now wit. Well, that's why I said pick Max. He doesn't have the highest wit in the game, but he does have a good amount of wit. And what the hell is wit even for, right? for operating modules, which we didn't even get into yet. So we'll get into that in a second. Now you get into the game, right? You've picked your ship, standard ship, picked your characters, and you've got 2 characters. You start in the ship, and you open the first door, and in the top left, you've got all these resources, right? And the resources go in order from industry, science, food, dust. Now, every time you open a door, you get more of those resources. They pop up as soon as you open the door. If you don't know what they do, then you're gonna have a problem, right? So, industry is used to build everything in the game. Everything that you can build and put on the modules, on the the module in the room, that's from industry. Science is going to be used on the science crystals, which I've got like 2 of right now on screen that I keep like grabbing, like jumping over to. And science is basically how you're going to upgrade any of your modules, and yeah, that's how you're going to upgrade your stuff. Food. Food's used for healing, in combat, and leveling up. It's also used for recruiting heroes. It's the only thing used for recruiting heroes, so in order to unlock more people, you're going to have some food, so when you run into somebody, you'll be able to recruit them, right? You can have up to 4 heroes at once. You start with 2. You want to get 2 more as soon as possible. Because, well, more bodies is always good. And then what do we got next is the modules, right? Dust. Forgot dust. Dust is used to power all your rooms. It can also be used sometimes as currency, just like all the other things. Sometimes you run to a shop guy, and you can use any of the resources. Usually, it's random. Depends on what he wants to deal in, and you can use those for buying items and things like that. Now the modules, right? There are major modules, and then there are minor ones. Major modules can only be put in a large module space in the middle of the room. And at the start, the only ones you're allowed to put down are industry module, a science module, and a food module. What the hell is the point, right? So, the resources system is taken from other 4X games that they've made. It's the same system. Building these modules is like building a building in those games. You build the module, and say you build an industry module. Now you'll get more industry per door. And every time you open a door, it's like you're taking a turn. So you open a door, all your resources go up. So you need, the most important one would be industry, because if you have industry, well, then you can build another module. Alright, if you put down a science module, it's not going to help you build another science module. It's going to help you get science. But if you put down an industry module, then you'll be able to put down a food module. You'll be able to put down a science. So you want to build an industry module first. Now, the minor modules are in order of, I think it's like support, damage, and then defense. They're all really detailed and explained if you hover over them, so it's not really a big deal. They all do a lot of different things. Support ones will do things like buff your heroes, or debuff enemies, or things like that. Damage ones, and then there's the defense ones. In the beginning, you have nothing in there, and you kind of wonder how you're supposed to survive with just this, small amount. You got these stupid little laser guns. You got nothing in the support or defense thing. And how do you unlock those things? Science. You have to find a science crystal. You right-click on it, and you got to research things. And there's a bunch of things in there that you can either research new things, upgrade current things. You can upgrade major modules, which is really important. You want to get those upgraded, and all types of stuff like that. Now, strategies, right? We'll get into some strategies, because we went over hero selection, we went over ship selection, the resources, and all the modules and stuff. Now, how do you win? What's a good way to play? Like, do you just grab all your heroes and just crash them through the door, things like that? No, see, there's still something I didn't talk about, which is operating modules. No one can do it from the first level. You're gonna have to level up your heroes using some food to operate modules. Now, if you have someone operating a module, you get a bonus to that resource every time you open a door. So it's basically like another way, like instead of building another industry module or something, you could put at around level 3 or 4, a lot of the people who can do it will start getting what's it called, operating as like a passive. You put them on the module, you put them in the room, they'll operate it automatically, and it gives a bonus to just things. So you're gonna have to leave somebody behind most of the time, right? So here's the basic strategy. Since you're only allowed to pick 2 people from the start, and I'm pretty sure you're only allowed to pick from the first 4, so you want to try Max, right? You want to try Sarah. Sarah's fast. That's obvious. You want her to be opening the doors and moving the crystal. Max, on the other hand, Wit is a skill that all it does is it affects operating modules. So the higher your Wit, the more the bonus you get. So it's basically like, it's like int, you know? They get a higher bonus for sitting back and operating the computer because they're smarter or whatever, you know? But so basically you want to have a runner opening doors and moving crystals and an operator. Once you start getting more characters though, there's more things that you can do. You can have people that go just damage and they just go in rooms. You don't even need to do tower defense and stuff, and they're strong enough on their own to just fight mobs. There's tanks. There are people that are way tougher than other people that you'll find. You don't really start with a tank character in the beginning. I mean, Gork is really tough, I guess, but he's so slow that I really wouldn't pick him. You're really gonna have a bad time on the move of the crystal parts if Gork is your second character, because you're gonna have to put him right in front of the exit and hope that he doesn't get swamped, because I mean, he can't move. He's basically stuck. As you get up to some higher floors, sometimes you're gonna have instances where you open maybe like 6 doors and you find the exit. Sometimes, when you get better, have a better understanding of the game, get better at the tower defense part of the game, have some better heroes, whatever, you might want to explore a little more, because every time you open a door, you're getting more resources. So the resources carry over each floor. So you want to open some doors. You want to have resources stacked up. You want to find items to buff your heroes and things like that. And you want to find other heroes. You want to find events where it's just free resources or things like that. And you definitely want to find science crystals. Without science crystals, you're gonna have a really rough time succeeding in the game, because the basic prisoner pod level 1 and the basic, more importantly, the modules, the major ones like the basic industry, food, and science, those are, I mean, you can win, you can definitely win with them, but if you have better ones, you're much better off, because the payoff is huge. Having like a level 3 or 4 industry or food generator means you don't have to worry about building tower defense or leveling up your heroes or anything like that. You're really better off. So first thing, real important, you want to look for, find a science crystal. If you don't find a science crystal on the floor, that's fine, and you find the exit and you feel like you can't stick around any longer opening doors, you don't have a good, you don't have a secure path to the exit, or you don't have good defenses leading up to your power crystal, which you don't want, monsters to hit, then just leave. But if you can, and you think, risk versus reward, you think it'll pay off, then go ahead and open some more doors, look for a science crystal, get some research, get some more resources, find some items, because it might pay off, might not, right? Might not. You might open a door, get ripped, and die and hate the game, because that's roguelikes. That's what happens, right? So Alright. Now we'll go back real quick, go through everything. Number 1, it's roguelike. You're gonna die, right? Big deal. Side note, another thing, you know, I gave some tips and stuff, but it's like, however you want to play a game, like if you love Gork, if you're like, Gork's the best guy, why would you say don't pick Gork? Fucking pick Gork, you know? Play the game how you want, how you're gonna have fun. But, right, I always say that, you know? You don't have to listen to me. I'm just trying to give you some hints, you know? Alright, number 2, heroes, right? Hero selection. You got damage, speed, wit, health. Pick who you like. If, you know, you really only like fast people, pick fast people, tough guys, whatever. Number 3, the resources. Top left screen, you got industry, science, food, dust. Every time you open a door, they're going to go up. Depending on what modules you have on the map, and if people are operating or not, you'll get bonuses to that. Modules, right? Starts with major, then there's 3 minors. They're all really self-explanatory. Industry, food, science. That's it, right? And then 1 little attack minor module. Everything else, you have to find through science. It's the only way to do it. So that's why I say the lab is pretty important. How do you get out of the hole? You know, how do you win? That's 5. Move your crystal. That's it. Move your crystal with the fastest person you have. Every time. Don't use a slow person. It's the worst. It's the worst experience ever. And it will probably result in you dropping the crystal, and if you drop the crystal, you die. If that person carrying the crystal dies, and they drop the crystal, game's over. You have to restart. And strategies. Try using Sarah in the beginning. Sarah's always good for carrying the crystal because she's the fastest, but later on you might want to have someone tougher and with some speed carry the crystal. And then, don't remember what number I'm on, so it doesn't matter. Sometimes exploring can be important. All the other things, you know, like the real advanced things, the strategies, the play styles that are going to come from leveling up heroes. A lot of different heroes have, you know, sometimes you pick a hero and you look at their stats and their strengths are not apparent. Level them up and then you might get abilities and things. Like, they're all very different. Every single hero is very different. So they all have skills and passives and all types of things that are make them really unique. So you're gonna have to experiment. You're not gonna know what they do when you find them. You know, you're gonna hire them and be like, I don't know if you're good. You look kind of cool, but I don't even know what you do, and you might hate them. Whatever. Again, that's something, you know, that's part of playing the game. Or if you really want to, go on the wiki, look it all up. Most of it's there. So I mean, it's all. And it's actually updated, so if you really are like, I need to know what this guy does, what do you do? Then just go look it up, right? No big deal. I'm not judging you. Alright, so that is hopefully good enough. Beat the system for Dungeon of the Endless. There was a lot of things to cover, so I'm not really sure. I think I got them all. I hope I got them all. If there's something specific, like a specific thing you're like, hey man, I don't understand, just leave a comment and I'll definitely see it. So I'll try to, you know, answer it. But hopefully that's helpful. This was Beat the System featuring Dungeons of the Endless. I'm Jeff. It's No Gimmick Gaming. Like, subscribe, and peace out. See you next time.